A portion of the mortgage payment pays the current interest owed on the loan, and a portion of the mortgage payment is used to reduce the principal owed on the loan. This process of paying off the principal and the interest, which is similar to paying a car loan, is called the amortizing of the loan. In other words, let's go to a previous example that we looked at. On one of the previous examples we looked at, the mortgage amount, this is not the price of the home, this is just the mortgage amount, was $134,000. You had a 6.5% interest rate for 30 years, and we found out that the total payment was $846.97. This is the answer to the problem that we got on a previous page. So the idea is, of this total amount, this $846.97, some portion of it is going to go towards interest, some portion of it is going to go towards principal, the actual amount that you still own on the house. And the question is, how much goes towards each? So how are we going to figure that out? Well, first of all, we'd have to redo this for every single payment. So we'd have to consider the first payment. Because there's no compounding within a month, we're going to use the simple interest formula here. P here is going to be the current loan amount, or I'll put the current amount owed. R here is going to be that interest rate, which is 0.065 in this case. It's always your interest rate. That's always consistent. And T here, you make monthly payments, so T is always going to be 1/12. So again, P is the current amount that you owe, R is your interest rate, and T is always going to be 1/12. So let's look at this right here. For the first month, I owe the entire mortgage balance, which is $134,000. My interest rate was 0.065, which is 6.5%. The time was 1 month, so I have 1/12. So that means the first month, if I round to the nearest cent, I owe $725.83 in interest only. So let's go back and look at that picture. It seems to me like this picture is not even remotely accurate that I was drawing before, because of the total $846, it looks like $725.83 goes towards interest alone. So the question becomes, how do I find what goes towards principal? Well, to find what goes towards principal, I do the payment amount minus the amount that has to go towards interest. So the payment amount was the $846.97. The amount that went towards interest was $725.83, leaving us a total of $121.14 that goes towards the principal balance of the loan. So what does that mean? That means you made nearly an $850 payment. Of that $850 payment, roughly $725 of it went just towards interest, and only $120 approximately went towards your actual balance. So what do you do to calculate the next one? Well, to calculate the next one, we need the new loan balance. It was $134,000. I made an $850 payment nearly, but only $121.14 went towards my loan. So I still owe, after the first month, $133,878.86. That's my new balance of the loan. Okay, so let's start all over. Let's do I equals PRT, but here's the key to this time. When I look at P is always the current amount that you owe. I no longer owe the full $134,000. Now I only owe that new amount, which is the $133,878.86. So I put that number into the formula. I still have my 0.065 for the 6.5%. I still have my 1/12 for 1 month. So the amount of the second payment that's going to go towards interest is $725.18. Still a ridiculous amount of the payment that goes towards interest, but if you will compare the two interest payments, it did go down ever so slightly. So every payment you make, the amount of interest you pay goes down, and the amount of principal you pay goes up. But notice at the beginning, almost entirely of your first few payments, of your first few years of payments, goes towards interest. Again, if we know how much goes towards interest, we can find out, take the total payment minus that interest. That gives you the amount that goes towards principal. So it seems like $846.97 was my payment, $725.18 was the amount that went towards interest. So a whopping $121.79 goes towards the principal. Now, to figure out my new balance, I take the previous balance, which was the $133,878.86. I subtract off the new amount that goes towards principal, and that gives me my new balance of my loan. So what would I do? Repeat the exact same process with P being the new number. Recalculate I, recalculate P, the amount that goes towards principal, recalculate the amount that you owe. Keep this process up. You could look at this called an amortization schedule. If you Google that, put in the loan information, it'll give you everything that you need of how much goes towards principal, how much goes towards interest for the entire 30 years. Again, what you're going to notice is as you go through it, interest payments are going to go, the amount that goes towards interest is going to go down. The amount that goes towards principal is going to be increasing over the time. But let's take a step back so I can give you some advice when you're making a payment. This person made an approximately $850 payment, of which $725.83 went straight towards interest. What would have happened if this person made a $1,000 payment? If that person made a $1,000 payment, that extra approximately $150 would have gone straight towards principal. So if you look how much actually went towards principal, it was only $121. So by paying an extra $150, every single cent extra that I pay goes straight towards principal. Again, if I pay more principal, then my interest goes down even further. If my interest goes down, then my principal goes up. And I start this loop of paying off more interest and paying and getting more, well, you have less interest to pay and more goes towards principal. So any dollar you can pay extra on your payment, even if it's only $150 extra dollars, significantly changes the amount of interest that you pay in the long run for the loan.